Central Kentucky mother faces serious allegations of strangling her daughter and forcing her in a dog cage. But from jail, the mother tells us the story is much different than what the allegations detail. Sheila Mann is charged with criminal abuse and unlawful imprisonment. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on the details of the allegations and what police are saying.
Social services began investigating accusations of abuse at this home on Norwood Drive in Richmond, and then police got involved.
Based upon the evidence and the statement from the victim, Miss Mann was charged with several criminal offenses to include strangulation, wanton endangerment, and in criminal abuse first degree.
Police say Mann's 10-year-old daughter said she was strangled, was thrown to the floor. Her mother then sat on her back and tied her hands with twine. Mann is also charged with unlawful imprisonment.
Had disclosed to investigators that Miss Mann had locked her inside a dog kennel type cage for 2 to 3 days at a time.
From jail, Sheila Mann tells us that all of this stemmed from events in Georgetown, where she claims that she was the victim of crime. And she says that she's always raised her daughter on her own, and she feels that that is why she has become somewhat of a target.
Some of it is actually from my family.
She claims her family is also behind it. Police say there's mental health issues at play here. Mann says she did spend some time at Eastern State but was cleared. She denies that she abused her daughter.
Sheila has always been one of the sweetest children, and I have never done anything like that. I have always actually had a job in caretaking.
Mann remains in jail, but she says she is optimistic she'll be cleared and be able to return home to spend time with her daughter and their dog. In Madison County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say Mann's 10-year-old daughter is being cared for by social services.